Okay. The over against Hardick obviously just didn't execute how I would have liked to really. Would have been important to get him off strike and just put it down to poor execution from me. Probably bowled 3 balls that were just too full, and as soon as you missed a player like Hardick, yeah, it's going to go the distance. So yeah, Hardick's a very good player. I didn't understand your question about MS. What was that again?
No,
Sorry.
I'm saying that you played as MS team in the IPL. From the bowler's point of view, how did you read his mind?
MS has obviously done this for a very long time, and he's probably played a lot of innings under pressure like that. And I think the way that he's timed his innings throughout his whole career is probably something that is a strength of his, and to have him as a guide out there for a young player like Hardick and the other young guys in the Indian team is probably it's very helpful. Yeah, and it was very important to try and break that partnership, and obviously we probably didn't bowl too well throughout the middle personally, and you know, we've spoken about how important it is to start well against new batsmen. We probably didn't do that too well throughout the middle period of the game the other day as well. So yeah, MS is an important wicket, and we had a great opportunity to get him in early, and we probably just, yeah, as I said, we didn't really execute the way that we wanted to.
Just before Hardick hit those sixes, you had James Faulkner in a pretty unusual position that almost got the wicket. Was that a pre-planned thing, or how did that come about on the field?
No, Smithy just had that plan on the spot really. We've had that same field in the IPL. We tend to feel on these wickets that hitting straight is a pretty common thing, and had a bit of success in the IPL with it. So yeah, we thought Hardick hits the ball quite well straight, as you've seen. And it nearly came off. Would have been nice if it come off. Actually, I would have been probably 20 or 30 runs less off my bowling.
Adam, India used 2 spinners to really good effect. You guys have got a couple of part-time options, and Ashton obviously could come into the side. Do you think just for a bit of variety, it would be good to have someone to support you with another spinner?
Yeah, we've got plenty of options. I think we had plenty of variety in our attack. We had 2 quicks who bowled very well for us the other day. We've got Jimmy bowling what he does, and then you know, leg spinning option and some off spin as well. So I think we've got plenty of variety, as do they as well. They were bowled very well to us. Particularly, I felt like, you know, when we're 4 down and you're facing 2 spinners who are very hard to pick under lights, it doesn't help either. So you know, we're going to have to try and negate that. I think it might be a little bit different if it was a 50 over scenario. I think once it comes down to 20 overs and you're under pressure like that, it does become tough.
Adam, how long does it take to, you know, get the right length going? And just with Indian batsmen, so some of them play up the front foot, back foot. So how important is that? And is that probably the biggest challenge?
Yeah, the length over here is very important, particularly with the size of the grounds. You know, in Australia, you can mess up your length a little bit, and you'll get away with it just purely on the size of the ovals. Yeah, here the length is very important, and sometimes I think you've got to try and bowl bad ball almost to get the pressure off you to get a player off strike. You know, a cut shot up to deep point can play a good role, and sometimes I was thinking that the other day and just didn't execute. And I try and you know, pride myself on bowling well under pressure, and the other day it just didn't execute the way I would have liked to. I think, you know, other than that over, I thought I bowled okay. But yeah, it's those pressure situations that you need to try and get out of, and yeah, unfortunately, as I said the other day, just the execution was a long way off.
So in the other game, the match turned mostly during the middle overs, and generally you as a spinner would come during that time. You said the execution was a little off, but on a good day, what would you be trying to do? Because most one-day matches at least, are turning during the middle overs, where even if it's under pressure, kind of bounces back. What would you try to do as lead spinner during those overs to kind of keep your side on top?
I guess a situation like the other day, you know, they're going to attack you, like Hardick was attacking, And I think the way to get out of it is just by you can get a wicket and change the game. So I think if it had happened 2 or 3 balls earlier, I think it would have been a different situation. We might have been chasing 260 or 50, but to get him when we did too, I think as disappointing as it was to have an over like that off me, to get him out in the end probably did make a difference between 280 and maybe 320 or 330 as well. So I guess it's just how you try and get out of those situations. And you never like to get hit for 3 sixes in a row, but I guess it does happen. It's probably happened to Shane Warne and guys like that too. So as long as you don't put yourself under too much pressure, try and learn from those situations, and hopefully if it happens again, I'll get him out earlier or get out of that situation better.
Last couple, guys.
Steve was saying after the game that because it was a reduced overs game, he wasn't really concerned about a result. Is there a bit of a feeling in the team that you can put that behind yourselves pretty easily because it was such a strange game with the reduced overs?
Yeah, I guess the most disappointing thing about the other day was that you don't often have a team like that 3 for nothing after 10 overs. So to come out of that with the loss is probably the most disappointing thing. Yeah, it was tough with coming down to 20 overs, and they started really well with the ball. And I think with the 2 new balls in 2020, it did make a bit of a difference. And then yeah, the wicket was spinning quite big as well, and you know, the wrist spinners were quite hard to pick at night. So hopefully it's a little bit different in a 50 over situation. When you're, as I said, under pressure in a 2020 like that, and you've lost early wickets, it's a totally different ball game.
Last one, Marty.
You spoke about, you know, your confidence getting hit when you do get hit like that. How do you sort of compartmentalise that, and the next time you're at the top of your mark and Harvick's facing up again, how do you push aside what's happened and just stick to your plans and bowl? Do you have any specific techniques that you use?
It is tough. Yeah, it's tough sometimes knowing that you've just got to execute this ball, because if you don't, it's probably going to be the same result. So as I said, I think bowling a bad ball can sometimes be your best way out, or just getting the wicket. That's your job as a spinner in the middle overs. Against teams like this, there are going to be partnerships, and there are going to be situations like that where you have to get out of. And yeah, as I say, I think the best situation is to just take a deep. The best thing is in those situations is to just take a deep breath and think about what's the best way to get him a play like that off strike, or just getting him out, because that can be the difference between 20, 30, 40, 50 runs that you're chasing.
Thanks, guys.